I don't know. I think Elon might be able to, right?
I don't know.
Bezos.
Yeah, I think his is worse.
Hey, he got Katy Perry up there. He can do anything.
Yeah. Yep.
Break your face.
I don't even know what to say about that.
The Late Night Legends podcast is meant for a mature audience. Topics covered may be violent or sexual in nature and are not suitable for sensitive listeners. Please be aware of your surroundings. For specific trigger warnings, please see the episode's show notes. Testimony shared by guests of this show are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Late Night Legends hosts or staff. This podcast and any linked materials should not be considered medical or professional advice, nor is the information a substitute for the expertise or treatment from a professional. Listener discretion is advised. Watch out.
Welcome to Late Night Legends. Tonight we have a great one for you. I'm going to hand it over to Kay for the news.
I'm not prepared for the news. Hold on. Wait. Oh no. What's the name? What's the name of the website where we talk about oh, it's hot in here. Okay. Okay, tonight on your news. Tim or the alien, we don't know his name, is going to be talking about secret space programs.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Coming up, we are super excited to bring you one of our most popular shows back. We've got Ghosts and Gossip Part 2 on May 5th. We're going to be giving you a follow-up on the Jacqueline Nunes. She is actually due in court on Friday. So we'll let you know what happens. We'll see if she shows up. And then we're also going to be talking about some news that has also been happening surrounding somebody from the Ghost Adventures team. Not Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures. So something pretty interesting is coming up. And then after that, on the 12th, we're going to have a collaboration with Maybe It's Spiritual. They were on a year ago, I want to say.
Yep.
And we are going to be talking about haunted theme parks, including the Big Mouse.
Do you know if the whole crew is coming out? Raph, Matt, and Margaret?
As far as I'm aware, I can check.
Whoa.
And then next week, we got the Battle of Los Angeles, which is a special show because Joan, I believe, will be back.
Yeah.
Right? Joan will be back, I think.
Is she? I know she's coming back starting in May.
It is. Okay, maybe she's not back.
No, she's not back.
But I'm also off that night, so you can look forward to me
Still
not
a
being
special show.
It's still going to be fantastic. You should still watch it.
Charlie and I will not be there, but it will be special.
We'll be watching.
We will have a team lead here to produce.
One of us will be here.
One of us shall be here. Someone shall be here. Hey,
somebody.
Maybe the alien could step in. I was just going to say the alien could step in and do the thing.
Perfect.
All right, cool.
I was caught off guard.
I lost.
I will
it
be
for a
more
minute.
prepared next week.
Sometimes you got to fly off the cuff with this stuff. You never know when an alien's going to open the show. Okay.
That's so good.
And that's kind of the nice mystery of aliens, right? Is you don't know.
I want to believe.
Yeah.
All right,
on your poster for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me. Look, I can't zoom in.
Oh, the ghosty.
But there he
my
is.
ghosty is hidden.
There we go.
There.
You got to dress up. You got to dress up your ghosty.
I know. I had bunny ears for Easter actually, and they're downstairs. So.
All right, Tim.
I still got his stocking cap on.
Cute.
Take us in whenever you're ready.
So ready to just go in?
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Take me in.
All right. Well, welcome to another heart-pounding episode of Late Night Legends. It's showtime and the stars are calling. I'm Tim, and I'm going to guide you into the shadows of the cosmos. And tonight, we're diving headfirst into a mystery that could rewrite everything we know about humanity's place in the universe. We're talking about secret space programs and the mind-blowing possibility that alien technology is already in our hands. So picture this: hidden fleets of starships zipping through the galaxy, government labs cracking open extraterrestrial gadgets, maybe even secret deals with beings from beyond the stars. It's the stuff of sci-fi, but what if it's real? Tonight, I'm peeling back the veil on 3 shadowy programs that have UFO hunters, conspiracy buffs, and even some scientists buzzing. The topics are the Solar Warden, Project Serpo, and Kona Blue. Each one's a puzzle piece in a cosmic enigma that's been whispered about for decades. So to set the stage, secret space programs aren't your run-of-the-mill NASA missions. These are black budget ops funded by billions, maybe trillions in unaccounted cash, hidden from Congress, the public, and maybe even the president. The wildest part? Some say they're powered by technology that we didn't even invent. Anti-gravity drives, faster than light propulsion, time-bending devices, tech that could only come from somewhere else. Think about it. What if the Roswell crash in 1947 wasn't a weather balloon? What if it was the start of a secret era where humanity got a galactic upgrade? This topic has got it all: intrigue, mystery, and that spine-chilling question: are we alone, or is the government hiding the truth? I grew up watching The X-Files, dreaming of Mulder and Scully uncovering proof of extraterrestrials. Shows now like Stranger Things and Project Blue Book keep that fire alive. And tonight, we're channeling that vibe for you. We're not just telling stories, we're chasing legends that might just be true. So grab your tinfoil hat, dim the lights, and stick with me for the next hour. And before we get started, I'd love for you to share your own UFO sightings or theories in the comment section below, because I'm dying to hear what you've seen in the skies. So you guys ready to blast off into the unknown?
Blast me off.
Yeah, beat me up.
Time to get blasted. All right.
Get
Let's
blasted.
Time to get blasted.
All right.
All right, let's go into our first stop, which is the Solar Warden. This one's straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster, but it might just be real. Imagine the U.S. Navy, not NASA, not Space Force, but the Navy, running a secret fleet of spacecraft, patrolling the stars like galactic pirates. It sounds insane, right?
Yes.
But the story behind the Solar Warden is so wild, it's got people wondering if the truth is out there. So let's go back to 2001. A Scottish hacker named Gary McKinnon, a UFO enthusiast with a knack for code, did something most of us wouldn't dream of. He hacked into some of the most secure systems on the planet. US military servers, NASA databases, the works. Gary wasn't after nuclear codes or bank accounts. He was on a mission to find evidence of extraterrestrials. And what did he stumble across? Files that blew his mind.
Gary, what are you doing?
What are you guys doing? What's up? Have I said anything funny yet?
No, I'm wondering what Gary was thinking this whole time, too. I don't know what Gary was. I don't know.
I can't look at Frank's face. You gotta cover
I'm
him up.
gonna cover my camera. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
Gary was obviously on a mission to find extraterrestrials, Frank. He wanted to believe too, just like you want to believe.
I do.
How bad do you want to believe, Frank?
So bad.
All right. Well, then let me give you some info, and maybe you'll believe.
Oh my god. I need Kleenex.
When Gary hacked into these systems, he found references to something called Solar Warden. It wasn't just a ship or a project, but an entire program. According to the files, the Solar Warden was a secret Navy operation running a fleet of spacecraft capable of interstellar travel. We're talking about ships with names like the USS Enterprise. And I'm waiting for you to bust up laughing on that one too, because that's straight out of Star Trek.
No, I'm good. Tim, let me tell you, I'm a professional. It's good. It's fine.
All right. I know you're going to believe that there was a spacecraft called the USS Enterprise, right?
Well, there's the one on Star Trek.
Exactly.
So
it's got to be true.
Star Trek.
It's got to be true.
Fun fact, my computer, you name your computer on the network. My computer on the network is named Kobayashi Maru. If y'all like Star Trek. You like that, Charlie? You like it?
Yeah, I do.
Wow. You do want to believe.
Tim, you have no idea how I yearn to believe.
All right. Well, keep yearning because here we go. He found logs detailing ship-to-ship transfers and non-terrestrial officers. Non-terrestrial as in not from Earth. So let that sink in. Gary claimed he saw evidence of a space navy staffed by humans or maybe something else cruising the cosmos. Now here's where it gets juicy, Frank. I'm addressing you most of this just because it's fun. The tech powering these ships is way beyond anything that we had in 2001 or even today, right? Anti-gravity propulsion, letting ships defy physics, faster than light drives, zipping to distant stars in hours, energy systems that make our power grids look like AA batteries.
That is juicy.
Gary and others. What's that?
I said that is juicy.
It's very juicy.
So juicy. Sorry, Tim. I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to show myself out.
All right. Gary and the others who latched onto this story say that the tech didn't come from Silicon Valley, that it came from reverse engineering alien crafts, maybe from Roswell in 1947, maybe from secret deals with extraterrestrials in the 1950s, like those rumored Eisenhower meetings at Holloman Air Force Base. Think about it. What if the government's been sitting on crashed UFOs for decades, tearing them apart in hidden labs? Area 51, Groom Lake, places whispered about UFO lore. Could Solar Warden be the result? A fleet built with extraterrestrial blueprints, patrolling space to protect Earth, or maybe to stake our claim in the galaxy. It's the kind of idea that can keep you up at night. But Gary's story didn't end with the victory lap. His hack set off alarms. The U.S. government came down hard, trying to extradite him for years. Gary said he barely scratched the surface before they caught him. He claimed the files he saw were just the tip of the iceberg. And that's what makes Solar Warden so tantalizing. It's not just juicy, Frank, it's tantalizing.
Oh, it's a lot of things.
It's not
right
just
now.
one guy's story. It's backed by whispers of black budget programs, those shadowy Pentagon projects with trillions in unaccounted funds. And maybe Doge will find them, we don't know. But the Defense Department's own audits show billions missing every year.
Yep.
Makes you wonder where it could be
somewhere.
going, right? Starships, secret bases, alien tech labs. What do you think?
The Bush family's bank account. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
The
Somebody's
Clintons'
all
bank
their
account.
bank accounts, right?
Yeah.
Clinton's bank account.
Makes you wonder,
Rothschilds.
man. What is that pay in Congress? Like 170,000?
Right.
Yeah, there's
yeah.
no millionaires.
Yeah.
No term limits. Sweet retirement package.
For real.
They're all
Free
basically
healthcare.
skeletons anyway. Whatever.
Or maybe they're aliens.
Holy shit.
Well, you never know. We'll get to that in the next one, really.
Ooh.
Well, let's zoom out a little bit. Why the Navy? It's a fair question. NASA's the public face of space, and Space Force is the new kid on the block. But the Navy's got a long history of covert ops, like submarines, global reach. Some say they've been running secret space missions since World War II, building on tech we can't even imagine. Others point to whistleblowers like Bob Lazar, who claimed in the 80s he worked on alien craft at Area 51. You've heard of Bob Lazar?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's
Yeah.
No.
yeah. He's out there.
Yeah, his story, talking about gravity wave propulsion, element 115, sounds like it could power a Solar Warden fleet. But here's the flip side.
I'm wondering if
go
Gary
ahead.
if they sought after Gary, so if they went after Gary so hard, it makes you wonder why they didn't go after Bob Lazar.
True.
That's
Well,
what I've been thinking this whole time.
Yeah. And I wonder if it's the difference between if Bob's story is true, he had the clearance and ability, whereas Gary hacked, right? Committed something that was against the law, right?
Yeah. I mean, Bob Lazar would have broken confidentiality and trade secrets and all that stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, they're both, capable of being prosecuted for crime. But
just wonder if one's worse than the other in the eyes of.
I think they're both. Them. They both fall under the umbrella of, disclosing things that would threaten national security is usually how they classify it, which is usually like a big federal offense. I think Charlie agrees, like that would be what they would get both of those guys for at the end of the day. Yeah, maybe
national defense. Yeah, Department of Homeland Security shows up, knock on the door.
That's probably a knock you don't want to answer.
Yeah.
Or you don't want to have knocking at your door for sure, right?
Yeah.
It's super interesting that you say Navy, because earlier this year there was some like Navy testimony where a guy actually got up there under oath and was like, they're in our oceans. Like there are aliens in our oceans.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. I read some of that as well, that they actually say that they have more encounters underwater than they do in space.
Yeah. And he also said that they have recovered both craft and the remains of pilots of the craft, and the remains are not human, and that the Navy has that.
We actually touched on this when we were talking about Valiant Thor.
Yeah.
Like that whole intro I put in, like some of the disclosure stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Which is funny because they're still denied, right? Even with Solar Warden, the Pentagon denied that Solar Warden exists, which, I mean, it's no surprise. They don't really advertise their secrets. They want to hide this kind of stuff. The AARO dropped a report in 2024 saying that there is zero evidence of extraterrestrial tech in U.S. hands. So what does that mean for Gary's files? They're trying to say it could have been misinformation, a decoy to trap hackers, or just his imagination running wild. They also tried to discredit him by saying, hey, hacking is messy. Maybe he just misread what he saw. And that non-terrestrial officers could just mean astronauts, not aliens. Still, for me, I can't shake the feeling that maybe there's something there. Solar Warden's story does have some legs. There's YouTube documentaries, Reddit threads, even mentions in UFO conferences. It's the kind of legend that thrives in the shadows. Imagine if it's true, a Navy fleet cruising past Saturn, powered by the tech from another world. What would that mean for us? Are we ready for that truth if that's something that does exist? Or is it something that you guys think is better left in the stars?
I think that's why they won't directly admit it. I think that's why they're giving us little tidbits at a time so we become desensitized to it, because I think if it was to come out, people would freak.
Yeah, there'd be mass hysteria.
Yeah.
Do you think it's something that does exist, that we're just suppressing it at this point?
Yeah, I don't myself think anyone really believes that Roswell was a weather balloon. Most people think something happened. They're not sure 100% what it was, but everybody pretty much believes there's something involving aliens there.
Yeah. I agree.
I've definitely seen some stuff that I can't explain, and our physics as we understand it and know it can't explain it. There's some weird stuff. I can't say what it is because I don't know. I can't say that it is aliens. I can't say it's not aliens, but I've definitely seen some stuff. I'm like, that's not... I know that our ships can't do that, and I know that the human body cannot withstand that, what that craft is doing.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, even if if NTOs does mean like astronauts, as they say, that's still covering up something, some kind of secret space program or Navy space program or something. So there's definitely something there.
I agree. All right, on to the next stop, Project Serpo. So this one's going to take us from Earth to an alien planet. And as wild as that sounds, imagine just not meeting extraterrestrials, but actually living with them on their home world, which is light years away. So that's the heart of Project Serpo. It's a story that's so bizarre, it feels like Close Encounters meets The Martian. The tale starts in 1947, not with Roswell, though that's part of the UFO zeitgeist, but with another alleged UFO crash. This time, one alien survived. Not a little green man, but a being who could communicate. According to the story, this extraterrestrial made contact with the US government and offered an invitation. Come visit our planet, a place called Serpo, in the Zeta Reticuli system, 39 light years away. Fast forward to 1965, the US takes the offer. They assemble a team of 12 astronauts, military types, trained to the teeth, sworn to secrecy. These weren't your typical Apollo heroes that waved to the cameras. They were shadow operatives. Their lives erased from public record. They boarded an alien ship and flew to Serpo for a 13-year exchange program. Some even stayed behind. The story didn't hit the public until 2005 when anonymous leaks, supposedly from a retired Defense Intelligence Agency official, spilled the details online. So what was Serpo like? The leaks paint a vivid picture. Serpo is a desert planet, harsh and alien, with two suns baking the surface. The aliens are called Eben, were gray, big-eyed, telepathic, and surprisingly welcome. They lived in simple structures, had a minimalist culture, but their technology was mind-blowing. Antimatter propulsion that made space travel a breeze, holographic interfaces like something out of Star Wars, even devices that could manipulate time itself. Maybe a flux capacitor, right? Our astronauts studied this tech, lived among the Eben, learned their language, and ate their weird pacey food. But it wasn't a cosmic vacation. The gravity was heavier there than Earth's, which messed with their bodies. Radiation from the twin suns was brutal. 2 of the 12 died, one from illness and one in an accident. 2 others chose to stay on Serpo, maybe too enchanted or too changed to come back. The rest returned in 1978, landing at a secret base, only to be debriefed in a bunker and sworn to silence. Some say their families were told they died in training accidents, while others say their memories were tampered with. It's kind of chilling to think about. So let's chat about this. Do you guys think the US could pull off a mission like this in the 1960s?
Nope.
No?
They can't even pull a mission off like that now, I would say.
Well, I don't know. I think Elon might be able to, right?
I don't know.
Bezos.
I think his is worse.
Hey, he got Katy Perry up there. He can do anything.
Yeah. Yep.
Break your face.
I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, in the 60s, the Apollo program was pushing boundaries, landed on the moon in 69. Some people, supposedly, whatever.
Nice.
If aliens provided the ride, then maybe it's not so far-fetched, right? I mean, if the tech is there that's as described, antimatter drives, time manipulation, it could explain the UFOs that we see today that are zipping through the skies at impossible speeds. And, something that adds some substance to the story is, Zeta Reticuli is a real star system that's been mapped by astronomers, which, gives that story some plausibility. But there is a darker side. What kind of person would sign up for a 13-year trip to an alien world? Do you think that's somebody who volunteers, or do you think that's somebody who ends up being coerced into doing something like that?
I think a lot of people would probably sign up for it. I really do. But what gets me about this and makes it more difficult for me to believe is just there's so many more logistical things that go into this other than getting there. I mean, you say 13 years, but is there 13 years the same amount of time as us? Because a year here and a year on Pluto is not the same. And our ecosystem here is so uniquely perfect to sustaining us that, I mean, it would be really hard for us to just easily survive over there. And I mean, they would have to be here studying us for a long time in order to know what we need to survive and to replicate wherever they are.
Probably take some time to terraform that environment.
Yeah.
And not to mention, general relativity says that the closer you are to the speed of light, So they are moving slower than us on Earth. So I don't know the exact math on that. I don't have Einstein here with me, but like, if you're going, how far away did you say this place was? Like,
Is it
it's very
39? It was like 39 light years. Yeah.
39 light years, but they were gone 13 years.
Yeah.
So okay, maybe there's some time dilation.
There would have to be some wormhole type stuff going on, or something like that. Because if you approach light speed, if you get to light speed, you become pure energy. So I don't think that's good for the human body. Just saying. I don't know if you
some kids.
There'd have to be
some
some
kids
type
on sugar.
there would have to be some type of wormhole action.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like, maybe I'm wrong, but even if you get to light speed, you're still going at the speed of light, which would mean 39 years there and 39 years back.
Yep. And that's you're traveling so fast, you're pure fucking energy.
Yeah.
I don't know, Tim. There has to be some other technology here.
They also said they had time travel, right? That's why I made up the flux capacitor joke. So, that could explain some of the differences between the 13 years and the 39 light years.
So you're telling me you can wormhole me to somewhere 39 light years away, but you feed me gray mush?
Wormhole me, daddy.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Come up with
And that's one of the things that the questions is about the tech that they would have brought back, right? They say holographic devices, propulsion systems. If they brought those things back, then where are they now? Are they hidden in Area 51? Are they powering secret programs?
It's a good question.
Or maybe they just have them hidden because they say it's too dangerous for us to handle. Right?
I know that some people theorize that the tech is going to come out should we go into like another like world war. Like that's when we do the shock and here's our new tech. Like that's what they're waiting for. If it's weapons tech, that is.
Right. That makes sense.
Or something that could be used as a weapon.
There's a lot of weapons tech that's very secretive that they have been testing. That's like sound tech and like wave tech and like electromagnetic frequency tech. Like that's all very true. And
even things that aren't weapons can be weaponized, right? Like even time travel.
Oh yeah.
You don't think of it as a weapon, but all the things
I saw
you can
Terminator
do by traveling in time. Yeah, exactly. Right?
I saw that shit.
So with Project Serpo, I think you guys are kind of both. Everybody here is very skeptical on this, right? And I think there's a good reason for it. There's no hard evidence. Everything I looked up, there's 0 declassified documents. There's no grainy photos from astronauts shaking hands with Ebens. The 2005 leaks were anonymous, posted on sketchy forums. And as we mentioned, the AARO's 2024 report that already flat out said that there's no confirmed extraterrestrial contact in U.S. history. The fact that it's 39 light years away, which we talked about, and even with alien tech, I think Kay, you mentioned logistics. That's a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
For now, let alone the 60s, right?
Yeah.
Why would they choose to go back to the 60s? What was cool about the 60s? Was it just because we were on the brink of a nuke annihilation there? Is that probably why you think? Because like if I could choose, I wouldn't go back to the 60s. Sign me up for the 90s, baby.
I'm wondering if it's more because that was kind of the heyday of our space program, so it was a way to kind of help pump money into the program, right? Oh, we've got like all these rumors out here. We need to put more money into this program, and that way we can try to investigate these types of things more. I don't know. But another question that came up to me going through this was why would aliens invite us? What would be in it for them?
Nothing.
If they've got all this technology and everything, why would they want us to go to their planet?
We'd only be a liability.
Well, maybe it's a warning. They're like, we see you're on the path to space travel. Here's what happens when you have space travel. They take us back and show us how crap their planet is. You have to eat gray mush. So
it's like, what do they eat in the Matrix? It's like amino acid mush.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Gross.
The funny thing about this story, though, is it's got a lot of staying power. So apparently it's inspired books, documentaries, even rumors of a Spielberg project. So it taps into some of the deepest dreams of people, meeting extraterrestrials, stepping into another world. If it's true, it'd be pretty impressive. But, out of the 10 astronauts that returned, I couldn't imagine that one wouldn't speak up or write a book or do something to try to put information out there, you know, on their deathbed, because it'd be about that time, right?
I like in the movie Paul when they show him in Area 51, kind of in jail, and he's on the phone and he's like, Steven, listen to me. And you realize it's Steven Spielberg that he's talking to.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I had secrets to reveal to him, I would do it on my life bed, not on my deathbed.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I got a question for everybody. And Kay kind of mentioned, she said that a lot more people would elect to go on a 13-year trip to space. How many of you guys would go to space for an extended
I won't even fly to Canada, man.
Not the 11 minutes that Bezos offers, but an extended period of time.
I told Kay once I don't like to travel. I don't even want to leave like this area. So count me out. Charlie, what do you think? Charlie likes to travel. I'm curious.
If it's space travel as it is now, I don't think so. You know, cramped and claustrophobic and strapped to a giant bomb, essentially. That kind of freaks me out. But like, if it was in relative comfort, yeah, maybe.
What if they put you into cryo sleep and like you just fall asleep on Earth, but you wake up?
I could maybe get along with. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I would end up like the alien colony ship, you know, or something like that. But yeah, maybe I can see it. I like space.
Hey?
No. I don't even like watching movies about space. Space terrifies me. It's such a hostile environment. Absolutely not. Nope.
Yeah.
How about you, Tim?
On it too.
What about you?
You know, it's funny. I grew up watching like Star Trek and those kind of shows, and always found it interesting, but never interesting enough to ever want to go. You know, I think what I enjoy the most space things that I've enjoyed were when the Red Bull guy jumped out of the little balloon and skydove from the atmosphere. I thought that was cool, but
yeah,
outside of that, no interest.
But there are multiple people that have expressed interest on being part of a mission to Mars, to be part of a Mars colony. So there are absolutely people that would go.
It would take, what they say, it takes 3 years to get there with our current technology, like just as an estimate. And they would still have to endure some tough times as the first colonists. They may die, likely never return.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That kind
people are still signing up for it. Ridiculous.
I saw Starship Troopers, Tim. I don't want any of that shit.
No doubt. Yeah, I remember seeing that. You don't want those big spider-looking things around.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I'm any safer in Chicago, but at least I know my enemy here.
Yeah. He might be safer on Mars, actually.
Yeah, maybe, actually.
All right, well, let's round out our cosmic journey with Kona Blue. This is a story that's not from the dusty archives, but from the recent Pentagon files. And we chatted about some of the congressional testimonies earlier, and this is one of those, right? This one's got UFO fans, Congress people, and even skeptics buzzing. It's the closest we've come to a government admission that maybe, just maybe, alien tech is real. So let's dive in. Kona Blue was a proposed program in the 2010s. Pitched to the Department of Homeland Security, of all places, its mission was straight out of a sci-fi thriller. Recover crashed alien spacecraft, reverse engineer their technology, and study paranormal phenomena like UAPs. This wasn't some fringe idea. It was a serious proposal backed by the Pentagon insiders. But here's the kicker. The DHS rejected it, saying it lacked merit. The details only came to light in the 2024 report. That same report we've discussed already by the AARO that says that we've never done this. But let's talk about why this matters. So the Kona Blue creators believed that the U.S. government already had alien crafts in its possession. You know, back to the Roswell 1947 incident or other rumored crashes in the Southwest. They wanted to crack open these UFOs and figure out how they worked. Propulsion systems that defy gravity, the materials that are lighter than titanium but stronger than steel, maybe even energy sources that could power an entire city. And it wasn't just the tech. They wanted to study paranormal stuff like the psychic phenomena, interdimensional portals. You know, it's like Stranger Things meets Independence Day.
Yep.
Then in 2023, a guy named David Grush, a former intelligence officer, blew the lid off. He testified before Congress, claiming the Pentagon's been running a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval program. Grush said the U.S. has recovered non-human craft and non-human biologics. So alien bodies. He didn't have photos or any documents, but his testimony lit a fire. Congressional hearings followed, with lawmakers demanding answers. So was Kelowna Blue part of a bigger cover-up? Or was it a failed attempt to restart something that had already happened in the shadows? You know, let's dream for a second. Imagine what reverse engineered alien tech could do for us. 0-point energy, pulling power from the fabric of space-time, propulsion that could get us to Mars in days. So we're talking about traveling to Mars. Imagine reducing that 3-year trip to days. Materials that make our jets look like paper planes. Could this tech already be out there, hidden in some classified program? You know, some say it's in our stealth drones or our hypersonic missiles. Others say it's locked away and too powerful or too dangerous for public use. But the secrecy is what gets me. You know, and we kind of chatted about this. You know, we ask why hide it, and you know, you think that hey, once it comes out, maybe it leads to a global war over the technology. You know, is it about that control or global dominance? Are they protecting us from panic? I think we talked about that already too. You know, the panic of people if they understand that this is something that's out there and what it can do to everyone. You know, imagine the chaos if the government admitted, yeah, we've got alien ships. You know, I'm sure churches, stock markets, Twitter, it'd be pandemonium.
There's a lot of stuff within that realm. I think one of the things that I'm looking forward to that you haven't mentioned so far that I've caught is a lot of the like biological experimentation stuff, or like mixing alien DNA or what they think might be alien DNA with like human or animal stuff. There's like a whole like rabbit hole conspiracies just with that mutant stuff. I don't know if any of it's true, but it's interesting as hell to know that there might be experiments like that going on. Like there's the whole chimera stuff. Charlie, I don't know if you're familiar with that. Just experimenting on animals, trying to combine them, trying to make one super animal, trying to make a duck that has the limbs of other, like another duck, like duck face on the feet.
It seems like all the stories you hear in supervillains, right?
Yeah.
They try to mix this DNA and do these things and create something that
mixing something
has never been created, and then it turns out to destroy humanity.
Yeah.
So what, I mean, I guess a piggyback question on that, knowing that they're doing that, I mean, because we know they're doing it for other things, like bringing back the woolly mammoth. So we know DNA, they use DNA to make different things. Even in, you know, dogs is probably the biggest example we could say.
They just recently announced that human cloning is possible and probably already happening. Like it's no longer a theory. They just announced that like a month and a half ago.
I thought you were going to talk about the dire wolf, but geez.
I heard about that one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts on the ethics of that? Do you think this is something we should be doing? Or do you think this is like, oh, you're playing God, this is not going to go well for us?
Yeah, it gets into weird territory with spirituality and souls and stuff. Like it's going to be very controversial. I don't know how I would feel about it as of right now, personally.
I think making other humans is an absolute no. Absolutely not. As far as bringing back other animals or cloning animals, especially bringing back animals that have gone extinct and trying to combine one animal with another animal. I mean, we just never know what we're going to create, and we have no idea what the consequences of those actions are. And I just think it is not a good idea.
There is a lot of rabbit holes you can go down where people have like photos. Some of them are probably very fake. Majority are probably very fake. Where like photos of animals that are like experiment made animals, where it's like, oh, this animal's dead, but like this is where they try to combine these two animals, or like this shit's scary. It's actually legit scary.
I mean, you also don't think about it too, like what diseases could something that we've made possibly be able to generate and unleash? I mean, we have no idea.
Well, I think we've all seen Jurassic Park too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, some dangers there.
Yeah.
We were trying so hard to, what's the quote? We spent so much time trying to figure out if we can do something. We never thought about if we should do something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it might start off as what we seem is harmless, like cloning sheep, cloning pigs. Oh, we're just making, we're able to clone human hearts and human kidneys so that we can save people on the transplant list. But there will always be people who push the boundaries of ethics and will do things that should absolutely not be done. And somebody's going to do something bad. So I just say, no, don't do it.
I remember when that talk started. I feel like this whole conversation kind of started in the 90s when they cloned that sheep Dolly. Tim, do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember
Charlie?
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like that's when that conversation, I feel like, kind of started. We were talking about that in elementary school when I was a young lad.
Yeah.
When it poses the question, right, who's calling the shots?
Right.
Is this something that is going to be governed, or is it unelected officials, private contractors? It really is a huge can of worms, not just for the, bioengineering, but also if we did have alien technology that we were trying to reverse engineer.
Yeah. I remember reading a book probably in middle school where there's this kid and he's being raised and he can't ever get hurt. And he's around this older guy or something. And basically you come to find out that the older guy is him. He is a clone. And he has there's a whole bunch of other clones of him. But typically they've been disabled so that they don't have higher mental function. And it was just that the older guy decided to let him grow as normal. But he's just there as an organ donor for this older guy.
So the idea is that younger boy they were farming his organs then.
Yeah. As well as all the other ones. But yeah,
Creepy.
it was really disturbing. And something like that could absolutely happen.
Can you imagine if we had the power to create a human being so you could grow your own organs and the human being is a clone of you, but it's completely brain dead somewhere in a lab? How wild would that be?
They're talking about doing that.
That's nuts.
That you can.
I don't even know.
They're talking about having human embryos basically born so that they can be raised to then harvest your organs, so that if you need a kidney, you don't have to wait for somebody on the list to match you. They'll just make you a new kidney out of you.
Wouldn't it make more sense? This is weird conversation now.
Go ahead.
But wouldn't it make more sense to be able to take your memories and your thoughts and put you in a robot, or so that you don't have to worry about the organs and all the other things, and that you're fixable? I think that from a study perspective, I'd prefer that over having to get something replaced.
What I actually think may happen someday. I think we're probably going to progress with the technology that is 3D printing to print human tissue. Then oh, you need a new liver? Let me pop in your DNA into the 3D flesh printer, and then it prints you a liver that's compatible without having to raise any fucking...
I believe they've done it with a kidney.
Have they?
Yeah.
That's nuts. Yep. I think that would be more likely. Oh, you have like a gangrenous leg that we've got to amputate. Let's fucking put you in the 3D printer and it'll actually print a leg onto your body. Like, I could see that happening someday sooner than us doing like a mind transcendence, mind shift into another body. But that's still cool. But is it ethical? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and with AI, as it develops, we could be closer to both. Imagine an AI model that's based on you and has all your knowledge. It can respond as you.
There is a company, Charlie, where you can. So there was a company. I don't remember what the name of the company was, but there was a company where if you knew that your time was coming up to pass away, you could record a voicemail, and then the company would deliver these voicemails to your loved one at certain milestones of their life. So if you're a dad and you're gonna pass away before your child is old, you could be like, oh, happy graduation, happy birthday, oh, you're 21 today, oh, this is your wedding day. It's kind of a creepy idea. That same company actually is now using voice. You could upload somebody's voice and have that be replicated, and doing the same thing where you can use AI, type in their personality, or it'll ask you questions about how this person reacted, and then it'll actually come up with a person that you interact with, almost like a chat GPT that kind of is that person. I could see that shit moving forward. to the point where it's very hard to tell if it's the actual person or not. And that's scary too.
Yep. Yeah, I already use that. I build out AI prospecting bots for organizations that clone the.
You better not be
sales rep or
prospecting me, Tim. I
BDR's
swear to God.
voices, and it uses their voice and it learns from them, and so it has these conversations just like if you were cold calling with a real person, but it's an AI bot.
We've come a long way with that
the
AI
technology's
voice.
crazy. Yeah.
Do you remember the very first like robot voices for like Windows 98 and Windows XP?
Oh, yeah.
And then
An
you
old
like compare those to the
Mac,
voices that
yeah.
are like Siri and Cortana and all of that, and then the ones that like some of these YouTube videos that get pushed out that have that AI voice, I think you can tell it's AI, but we are so much further ahead than we were 10 years ago, to the point where like now sometimes I gotta be like, is this actually somebody talking or is this like AI voice? Case in point, there's another Late Night Legends channel out there somewhere who uses AI to like clip like talk show hosts stuff and their content, then it uses an AI voice to come up with whatever BS, and they publish one video an hour and have been consistently for like the last 2 months. It's wild how people eat that up.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep. All right. Well, let me finish up here on Kona Blue before we get too sidetracked. Kona Blue apparently never got the funding and never became a program. Grush's claims, while they're juicy, they're hearsay, and he's got no hard proof, just stories from other insiders. The Pentagon, as we mentioned before, they're not known for transparency, so denials don't really mean much. It still could be true. But without documents, photos, or a smoking UFO, it's hard to call this a slam dunk. You know, it's not some dusty conspiracy theory from the 60s. It's recent. It's tied to real government proposals. Congressional hearings are happening about it. Whistleblowers are coming forward. So it feels like we're on the edge of something, but maybe it's just another layer of the cover up. You know, I think we're all in agreement that there's probably something out there, something going on. We have technology, we have information, but it's something that's being suppressed for us to try to help prevent panic from a civilian standpoint. So that's what I've got for tonight. We cruised through the stars of the Solar Warden's secret fleet. We lived on an alien world with Project Serpo and hunted extraterrestrial tech with Kona Blue.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Too.
Try not to look at my screen right now.
It sounded like you just bent over and lost your dinner or something.
No, I dropped a quarter on the floor. I had to pick it up.
Thank you, Tim. That was a great
He
topic.
was transported to another planet, is what he
For a
was.
second, I went through a wormhole.
Super interesting topic. That was really good.
Aliens are not my forte. I'll say that up front. So crazy going into the research and trying to figure this stuff out for tonight's topic. But I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great.
Yep.
I mean, I did see we got a ton of votes for the alien stuff, so I'm sure we'll have a lot of views.
I think people like aliens. I feel like
This guy, at least.
yeah, we got to give him.
We
a name.
like that
Maybe
guy.
Maybe we put a poll up, see what people want to name that guy.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's losing air, though.
Oh, dear.
It's because you've
Drop
been
your-
squeezing him this whole time.
Drop your name for the alien in the comments.
Drop your name for the alien in the comments. That's actually good. We could definitely have next week. Next week, Kay will announce what our favorite. Well, maybe we may not get comments by then. 2 weeks out, we'll say, because it'll take a week, I think, to get comments after we. So if we publish this
Yeah.
one a week from today,
Yeah.
by the time we publish it, we would have only had 1 day of comments if we get any by then. So I would say 2 weeks out, we'll announce what our favorite alien name was, and then Tim can pick.
Before we start Ghost and Gossip on May 5th, we will talk about alien names and vote.
Perfect. Right now, he's just the unnamed alien.
Alien X.
I am Alien X. Oh my God. Tim, the voice you did earlier was so good.
So good.
I just want to do voiceovers of aliens with you, Tim.
all day.
I want to hear. I do want to hear like Charlie and Kay's alien voices though. Maybe we can make it Patreon content.
I feel like my alien voice was more like when we were talking about the robotic voices. Windows 95.
Disagree. You fucking nailed it, Tim. I
liked it.
I can't wait for Kay to make a reel from just that opening. To be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be gorgeous. It's gonna be so good.
I should make just a compilation reel of us laughing throughout the show.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not one of the people that are laughing.
Tantalizing show.
It was so tantalizing.
I wasn't laughing though. I have a
dropped a quarter. It's okay.
Allergies, and I was trying to inhale.
Final thoughts for
Sorry, Charlie. Thank you. Y'all go first with the final thoughts.
Okay. Are you going?
My final thought is that I am bananas about this topic. Love it so much. Do I believe that aliens are real? I don't know. I think there's something out there that I can't explain. I don't know if we have technology that I can't explain. I don't know if it's an extraterrestrial technology I can't explain. I can't explain it. So I'm not going to say what it is, one way or another. Yeah, I think that's all I have.
Even if, whatever your thoughts about aliens, there's a lot of evidence that the government is doing stuff that we don't know about.
Yep.
And especially with the recent New Jersey drones thing, that brought up a lot of questions because there's a lot of airfields there. So are they testing some secret technology or something? Frank says no, but
no, that's not why I'm saying no. But go ahead, Charlie.
There's enough evidence, enough has gotten out where I'm like, they're clearly doing something. And it's not just, it was just 1947 for a long time. Roswell was kind of all you heard about, but lately, especially the amount of stuff that's come out, it's enough to at least open the door to a possibility.
Tim, what you got?
Yeah, I think it's entirely plausible. As Charlie mentioned, with the stuff the government suppresses from us as it is, I think it would be highly unlikely that there's something that we have that they'd tell us about because of what it would cause. So I do think that there's something. I don't think it's anything that maybe we're necessarily using yet because we might not understand it the way we need to be able to use it properly, but I'm sure there's stuff there.
I would say,
I can see some people that could possibly be aliens on Earth.
I feel like one of our hosts was an alien.
When he was in Congress, right? He looked kind of...
He was lizardy.
Yeah.
He was lizardy. Sure. And Zuckerberg has said stuff like, when I was human. Like, he said that before. And it's like, wait, what? And then he's like, oh, no, I am human. I've always been human. Charlie, do you know what I'm talking about? Did you hear that quote?
Yeah. And he's building that weird, giant underground bunker.
Yeah, it's in Hawaii.
Have you seen him try and drink water? Come on. He's a lizard.
He's not even drinking water. He doesn't even know how.
Yeah. Doesn't.
Yeah, and then he had the recent kind of PR boost when he did the 4th of July post this past year, and just kind of had this new outfit. And I can totally see him, it's I need to appear more human.
Got into jujitsu to try to be cool.
Yeah, well,
he doesn't know how to drink. He doesn't know how to eat. He did a 2-hour stream where he was talking about smoking meats for 3 hours, and he said it
smoked his brisket
7,000 times. Bro, okay, we get it, you're barbecuing, but I feel like he did that because he doesn't actually eat food. Or it's like Men in Black. You see Men in Black where it's Will Smith recognized the alien because they had 2 sets of eyelids, one set blinked this way and then one set blinked that way. I'm pretty sure Mark Zuckerberg's like that.
Yeah,
100%. My final thought, super interesting topic. I love that this topic went into some territory that we don't really discuss all the time, but it's kind of scary, real scary territory, which is all that stuff that we talked about probably in the last 15 minutes or so. On the one hand, part of me wishes that I would be able to witness and experience all the technology advancements in the next few hundred years. And then there's another part of me that's nah, fuck that. I don't actually want to be part of that horror. I'm already kind of scared. So that's my final thought. Please leave your favorite out of the three. You did 3 topics, right, Tim? Or you discussed 3? Yeah, out of the 3.
Discuss 3.
Please leave in the comments what you like the most. Please leave in the comments what you like to name the alien, and let us know if you do like space conspiracy horror topics. And if you do, maybe we'll come back and do some more in the future. But tune in next week. We're going to be doing the Battle of Los Angeles. Then we got some other stuff on deck. We got Joan coming back in May, which is going to be exciting. We definitely miss her. Yes. And outside of that, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for telling your friend. Thank you for sharing this podcast with your boss, hoping that you don't get fired because it's very risky. And we will see you all next week. Have yourself a safe and wonderful Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And goodbye from our unnamed alien X. Tim, have the alien take us out.
Thank you for watching Late Night Legends. Goodbye. That was terrible.